My next guest is proud of why his family immigrated to the United States. And this was a big issue for you. Former Congressman Tom Tancredo, immigration was, I saw a video of you speaking at a college where a brick was like thrown through the window. You made some people very upset by your stance on the border, but you know, I've watched you speak. You've spoken to me. This is about sovereignty and the rule of law, not a particular group of people based on race.
That's for sure. And, you know, while you were doing that, that little expose of the Mexican Constitution, I was intrigued because I've been to Mexico and observed at one point them rounding up. And when I say round up, I mean rounding up Guatemalans who had come in illegally, putting them on trains. I mean, you know, it reminded you of scenes out of the Holocaust. And so it would always drove me crazy when they would put on this holier-than-thou attitude and come into the Congress of the United States and tell us how we should handle our immigration policy. You know, my parents, my grandparents came here, both sets came here in the late 1890s and around 1900. They came for the same reason that millions before and millions after had come. That is to say, a better life. They wanted the economic advantages that they could get here and they could not get in Italy. But there was something else that distinguished them entirely from other immigrants that are coming into this country today. That's what I'm saying. Really, Andrew, it's not just illegal immigration, it's immigration. Immigration, illegal or legal, without assimilation is a problem, a big problem for America. My grandparents wanted to be Americans. That's the difference. They wanted to cut the ties. And one of the ways they showed that was to immediately learn English. And I can remember this like it was yesterday. We would take my grandparents on Sunday, pick them up for church, go to church, take them out for a lunch, then go for a ride. Okay, that was a big deal when I was growing up, you know. And go for a ride on Sunday. About 3 o'clock, we'd end up at Dairy Queen. By that time, my grandparents had been in the back seat and you know, without air conditioning, close proximity for long enough they were in a fight. And my grandfather would lapse into Italian in the argument, and my grandmother would yell at him, "Speak American, damn it!" You know, and I mean, she meant it not just speak American, be American. That's the difference.
Well, what's fascinating to me is, and you know, when we say cut the ties, of course, if you're coming from our neighbor to the south, they're right there. It's not like crossing the ocean. But we've almost seen our government kowtow to the needs of the immigrant, to change its policy based on, I mean, I don't have this kind of power. American citizens don't have the power to turn its federal government in a different direction the way the activists representing illegal immigrants have been able to do. They've convinced the president to literally, and I throw this blame on John Boehner for not doing anything about it, to literally circumvent something that is clearly an enumerated power of Congress and go on his own. This is not just some enforcement policy. He's legalizing people.
This president should have been impeached a long time ago. There are a list of things he's done that are impeachable offenses as long as my arm. This Congress has no guts. It wouldn't do it because it's fearful of the reaction if we were to actually impeach a black president of the United States. That's the reason, Andrew. That's the reason these things haven't been brought up. He should have been impeached for this. He has
at least warned for it.
Oh, no,
at least warned.
Andrew, these are clear violations of the Constitution. And if nobody brings this up, if nobody tries an impeachment, if nobody brings up a bill of impeachment, what does that say about the next? What does that tell? What precedent does it set for the next president or dictator-in-chief, which is what this guy is?
Let me wrap with this one short question. How come he didn't make this kind of a move when Nancy Pelosi was the Speaker of the House? Yeah. They had both houses of Congress. He could have done this. Nancy Pelosi never would have resisted him. But there would have been people who said, Madam Speaker, you have a job to do here. Now it's on Boehner's
watch. That's right. Well, they had 2 years to do it. They chose not to. They were afraid of the political ramifications of doing something dramatic. This is not as dramatic as a full amnesty, which is what, you know, the other side wants. But I will tell you, you've got this coalition in Congress of Republicans and Democrats. The Democrats who look at that border and see everybody coming across it, legal or illegal, as undocumented Democrats. You've got the Republicans who look at that same phenomena and see cheap labor. That's why you can't get anywhere.